The Red River Farm Network is celebrating the role of women in agriculture, a special series called Agricult-HER. It's made possible by the Minnesota Soybean Research and Promotion Council, Minnesota Corn Growers Association, North Dakota Corn Council, Ag Country Farm Credit Services, and Van On and Company. Our guest, Krista Jansen, Project Manager at Northern Crops Institute. Krista, first of all, a pleasure to have a chance to sit down with you.
Yes, thank you. It was an honor to be asked to be a part of this series.
We'll talk a little bit more about your role with NCI in a bit, but I want to go back to the beginning. You grew up on a farm in the Ada, Minnesota area. How do you think that beginning really influenced the rest of you as you moved into your adult life?
Oh wow. I think having the opportunity to grow up on the farm and be a part of the farm all of my life has definitely shaped who I am. Um, Growing up, I got to be a part of 4-H and FFA, and all of those opportunities really led me to my career path in agriculture, and I'm so thankful for them.
And you went on to NDSU, right?
Yep. I got my bachelor's degree in agriculture communications and then a minor in food safety management.
I think we crossed paths probably the first time when you were an intern with Peterson Farm Seed, and then you later went on in the seed industry as well.
Yep. Yeah, I interned with Peterson for 2 years, and that was such an amazing experience. I was their marketing intern, so getting to work alongside Julie Peterson was definitely an honor. So many great experiences there, and opportunities to try different things and learn different things. And yes, definitely grateful for everything she taught me over the years.
And like then on to Thunder Seed, and now we are with NCI.
Yeah.
Explain your role with Northern Crops Institute. This is like for folks that don't understand it, it's a world-class operation, and we're very fortunate to have it right here in our backyard.
Yes, definitely. So I've worked for NCI for about 4.5 years now, in a few different roles, and just recently, this fall, have the new role of program manager. So right now I'm working on planning a lot of upcoming short courses. We do a lot of other educational material, handbooks, webinars, a lot of things like that. Our main mission is to grow markets for northern grown crops. So a lot of these courses are put on for international audiences and then also domestic audiences. We've got a couple cool things coming up on March 1st. The Ag Academy is actually open to high school students, so 9th grade through 11th grade. So making sure that if anybody knows, anybody interested in some of the different tracks we offer, food science, animal science, and then also an international trade track. So those are really cool experiences. Make sure that you encourage people to apply for those.
And who's the target for that?
So people, interested or students interested in agriculture. So it's actually free to students, paid for by our sponsors. And they're able to go through those tracks. It's about a week long. They stay on NDSU's campus. And then they're able to go through the different tracks, learn a lot through a lot of the people that are actually some of our core speakers. And they get to do tours, a lot of hands-on experiences, and they're also able to gain college credit through it as well.
What a great experience, because I think at that age, if you can get that international experience and open your eyes to, things are a lot bigger than maybe our hometown and our home county kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. And there is actually a video available on our website as well that talks a little bit more about it. So if you're interested, definitely reach out. We'll be happy to give you more information, and be sure to encourage people to apply.
So what's a normal day like for you at NCI? Is there such a thing?
I guess, I don't know if I could say there is such a thing, and that's part of what I like so much about it. A lot of the days are spent doing a lot of planning, but we also have a lot of different groups, and then different groups that come through, and the opportunity to meet a lot of people, especially with our new Peltier complex building. That's been a hot topic, and a lot of tours and different groups coming through. So that's been fun, getting to meet a lot of those people. And I guess, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I often think there's misconceptions from people outside of agriculture of what what this industry is all about. Do you see NCI having a role maybe in changing some of those mindsets?
I guess I would hope so. With NCI, we definitely want to be able to educate people, be able to educate the groups that come through, and make sure that people have the right understanding of a lot of the commodities.
So I'm always curious. You mentioned Julie Peterson as one. But do you have mentors? Do you have role models that you've looked up to as you've kind of moved through your career?
Yeah, and this is one of those I've had so many. I've had so many great experiences in agriculture. So I might have to name a few.
That's good.
But I guess I first have to start with my parents. Both of them were so encouraging, making sure that we had every opportunity to be involved in different things like 4-H and FFA, and being able to show pigs and sheep, and having all of those opportunities was huge. And then I guess my sister, I got to follow in her footsteps when it came to a lot of those different events and being egg ambassadors and different things like that. But then also my FFA advisor, Nathan Purrington, he was absolutely amazing, super encouraging, always challenging, wanting you to try different things as far as like parliamentary procedure, and encouraging you to try different positions, and president or vice president, or getting involved in parliamentary procedure and job interview and livestock judging, and all of those things. And then Dave Torgerson was another huge one. He had actually created like this program where it was like an egg peer group, and we got to experience going to Ecuador, and that was kind of my first big international travel through agriculture, and that was such a cool experience. And he's always been encouraging, even when it comes to being at Prairie Grains Conference and coming to listen to my presentation and things like that. And then, again, I would have to say Julie Peterson has been a huge one when it comes to mentors throughout the years.
You talk about that leadership experience. I go all the way back to being in the show ring. I don't think people can negate how important that learning experience is when you're in a show ring with a lamb or whatever you're dealing with. That helps us years down the line, I think.
I would definitely agree. You never quite know, especially I feel like pigs were a little bit more predictable, but sheep, you just never knew how they were going to be the day of the show. You could work with them as much as you could possibly think, and then the day of the show, they could just completely be very frustrating.
Yeah, I hear you. So, am I right? Were you have you been a part of the Morrow program?
Yes, that was another one, and being able to travel to both Cambodia and Taiwan, seeing agriculture from their point of view, getting to see a lot of the different farms and agriculture operations, and just realizing that around here grain crops are the main commodity, and there it's completely different. So that was definitely an eye-opening experience, and getting to do that with 30 other people is even more interesting, I guess. We definitely had some bumps along the way, just because it was right before COVID, so it was kind of that we were worried about getting stuck in country and all those kind of things. But I can't credit that organization enough for all the things it taught me.
I always relish those international experiences. What's the biggest surprise you had in one of those trips overseas?
Oh wow. And this isn't completely on the agriculture side, but I was amazed that guinea pig is one of the most sought after pieces of meat here in Ecuador. That was a big surprise to me.
Kara, that used to work with us, was on that same trip, and I remember coming home with those stories. Morrow's got such a network, whether it's your class or those that came before or after you. Talk to me about how important that that connection is that you have through the Minnesota Ag and Rural Leadership Program.
Yes, definitely. I think one of the biggest things with Marl is just all the connections that you can gain. I remember going into it thinking, okay, everybody would be like-minded, and everyone would have kind of the same experiences, same backgrounds. And I remember sitting in that first meeting and just, people talking about that, they were strawberry farmers, or that they were a part of this organization, or, it was just completely eye-opening in that realm that, even around here, there's so many different viewpoints in agriculture, and there's so many different people and what they do, and there's so many, different opportunities, I guess.
That diversity is probably the biggest strength when you look at an organization like that.
Definitely.
So, you talked about your mentors. I'm curious if you had advice you could give to others, maybe starting in the ag field. What would you say?
I would say one of the biggest things is to get involved. Join some of those organizations. Try different things. One of the best things you can do is grow your network and, learn from people and ask questions and, be open-minded to trying new things. And I guess, thinking about, other people that are maybe, have more grown careers in the agriculture industry, I guess my advice to them would be, be the encourager. Encourage people to get involved and try new things, and whether it be an intern or a student, or, just try to get others involved.
I look back to Marl, and there's different generations really that are involved in that organization as well. Do you see that there's an ability to learn maybe differently from where you are versus a boomer that's sitting in the room?
Definitely. I mean, everybody has such different experiences in agriculture. Different generations have brought, such different things to the table. And being able to kind of hear, well, years ago, this is maybe how it was done, but then, in recent years, this is how it's done, or, here's some advice. The advice was such a huge thing that I learned, and having all those resources and people to ask questions to, and it's so fun when you go to like an agriculture, like a show or something, and you see so many of those people, and, all the different career paths and different things, going to different places, and all the different experiences, and being able to kind of combine those things and see what they've learned and what you can pick up from them has been really cool.
You're still early in your career. What do you have goals that you see out on the horizon?
I would say some of my big goals for the future, definitely to just, soak in a lot of it, try to learn more, get involved in more groups. Right now I've got a young daughter, and then one on the way in about a month. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. Oh, thank you. Makes it a little bit more difficult to, be gone. And that's why I'm so glad that I did a lot of the travel when I was, before kids, because it's really hard to be gone for 2 weeks when you have a little one. But I definitely want to get more involved and be involved in more organizations. And there's so many, really cool groups for women in agriculture. And so I'm really hoping to get more involved in these next years.
What a fun place to be, though, as you start your family and really move down that adventure as well. Definitely. Cool. Well, I've really enjoyed our conversation. Any final thoughts for us, Krista?
I guess I just want to thank you for this opportunity, and I hope to have a lot of more interviews, I guess, in the future when it comes to some of the different experiences.
Awesome. Great to connect. Krista Jansen with us again. It is our series that we call Agriculture, our special salute to women in this business of agriculture.